Hey everyone, welcome to Ellis Mowers. Before I get to what's behind me, y'all probably noticed a couple of small changes on the channel. I don't really change very much from video to video, but I have changed my music bed a little bit in my open. I have also added a close at the end of the video, just showing all of my social media handles if you want to follow me there. Let me know what y'all think. As well as y'all probably noticed I've added some thumbnails to the video to make them a little bit more attractive. Like I said, just give me some feedback. Let me know what y'all think. I'm not trying to be full on, you know, like some YouTube folks are with what they do. I'm not trying to be full on just a YouTube character by any means. I want to be personable and be myself still. So just doing those to make things a little bit more attractive. But let's get to today's video. We have two twin Yardman push mowers back here. They are probably around 10 years old. We'll check both of them here in just a second. Both of them have the Quantum Briggs engine with the primer bulb on them, and one of them got hit by a tree branch, so it's a little bit damaged. Here, it happened in my backyard here with the ice storm I had back in February. I'm just getting to working on them now. Both of them look to be in pretty decent shape. They'll probably fetch around $80 to $90 whenever I fix them. So, like I said, I hope you all enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and get started on these twin Yardman push mowers. Alright guys, let's go over both of them. One of them is a little bit better shape than the other. It kind of sucks that one of them got damaged, and the one that got damaged was the one that was in better shape. It will be in better shape. All I have to do is put a handle on it or bend that handle back up one way or another. There's no damage down on the bottom of the mower, it looks like, which is good news. Let's start with the one in the front here. I have no blade on this one. I'll pull it out and show y'all. And it looks like my little cover here is missing. That's not really a deal breaker by any means on these. You can run them without the cover and be okay. But there's an underside of the deck. There is one small rust hole right here. Apart from that, not really anything. It is, let's see, what is this? 091112. It's a 122102 Briggs. 091112, which means it was made November 12th of 2009. Cable's good on it. I'll put a blade on it and see if it's gonna run for us. Let's check the oil. They both have compression. Oil is dark, but it is full. Air filter, let me grab a tool for that here in just a second. Second one here, basically the carbon copy lawnmower. Let's look and see when this one was made. Whew. I may not be able to see when this one was made. Let's see. May not be able. This one might be a mystery because there's a little bit of corrosion and stuff on it. But it's about the same vintage. Here is your sticker. It's a model number 11A-A24. I believe that's a 7055. They're both, like I said, they're both made around, they're MTD mowers made around 2009 or so. I guess right before they went to the auto choke deal on a lot of these Quantums. So this one, like I said, was in good shape. And then, of course, I had an ice storm that came and bent the handle back a little bit. We just have to bend that handle back up some, and we will be fine. I just got to take it off of the mower and do that. Hopefully, I will be able to do that rather easily. Or I can honestly just replace the handle and use this as a parts handle. I have plenty of them. It did do a little bit of damage to the cover. Nothing crazy. This one does have compression. let's see, gas situation on this one. No gas in it. Does smell a little old and stale, so we'll have to get into the carburetor. Oil, a little low, but we're still got some in it. Let's look under the mower. Blade, pretty chewed up. Yeah, pretty chewed up. I might replace it all together since this is a rather nice mower. I'll see what I have in my bag here. Definitely will need a primer bulb. The primer bulb is basically, I mean, I can basically just rip it off because it's so disintegrated. That's usually a sign of old fuel as well. And so yeah, let's see what the primer bulb is like on this one. It's okay. Probably should replace it as well. I got plenty of them, just a wear item. This one's got an E3 spark plug. So there's the synopsis. What I'm going to do, we'll take the air filters off, we'll look at them, see if we can at least get them started. I will find a blade for this one as well. Once we get it started, we will, once we see that we can get it started, and maybe they'll run, who knows. Let's look, gas on this one is, they both got the old gas smell to them, so pretty sure that the carbs are probably clogged on them. But let me get the air filters off and we'll take a look and see if we can get it started. I'll go ahead and put a blade on this one as well. Alright guys, I've saved the good stuff. Let's show you what we got. Got the air filter covers off, and both of them were not what I expected. First one was, this is the older one that's got the little hole in the deck. So this one, the air filter is just completely caked on it. I mean, it is just gone. Look at how much grass. Somebody must have, this is indicative of somebody that was probably cutting a Bermuda grass lawn. I know they really mess up the air filters on those pretty badly. The second one's even better. The second one, they didn't even worry about replacing the air filter with an air filter. They replaced it with a rag. So I'm hoping that this is not going to be a low compression scenario for this mower. Which makes you think, if this is how most people take care of their lawnmowers, how are they taking care of their cars, their houses, and their other pieces of property? I mean, I know a lawnmower's not that expensive, but still. Really? Not the worst I've seen, but those promptly go right there. Alright, so given that, let's see if any or both run on starting fluid, and then we'll progress to regular gas, see if they'll actually run on regular gas. If so, that's good. I did put a blade on this one, just a crappy 20-inch blade off of a rusted out deck. I mean, nothing special, but enough to make it run. So let's see. Trying to. I think it's got a ton of oil in the plug though. Carb spring's broke, that's why it's not revving up, but I am getting fuel and fire, so worst case I replace the carb spring, the timing may be off, so that's good enough. Whoops. Number 2, let's try that one. So that's good. We got enough in that one to run, which is good. I actually don't know which one to start with first. Let's start with the one on the right first. How about that? I know I have a spring on it. I can probably make that spring on it work, but I think I got plenty of carb springs that'll work for this quantum type. So let me go ahead and get this one on the bench, and we will go ahead and get started with this first one, because the second one I've got to bend the handle back and stuff and put some primer bolt and stuff on it. So let me get this on the bench. I'll go ahead and take the top cover off, and then we will go ahead and maybe reconnect the carb spring, see if we can get it to run better than it was. Alright guys, so I just did a temporary, it just broke right here where the spring started. I just did a temporary fix for right now. I want to hear it rev up when I first crank it up. That's all I really want to hear. And so let's throw some more carb spray in it and see if it'll actually go whom whenever we pull it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to hear. I wanted to just hear it do that. So let me find this spring for this. I should have plenty in a box somewhere. Get it up on the bench, and we'll go ahead and get started with this one. Alright guys, so I put some gas in this thing, and just to see what would happen, hit the primer bulb. Check this out. It's priming. So obviously I have to replace that spring on the top, but let's see if this thing runs. First pull, how about that? Obviously we still have a good ways to go here. I do need to replace the primer bulb on it, the pull rope, the blade, and the oil. Take that little shroud off. Might see if I can find one. I might have one from a rotted out deck or something. I'm not quite sure. But getting it running, it's pretty easy, won't it? Alright, so let me go ahead and get it on the bench. We'll go ahead and put a pull rope in it and go from there. Alright guys, I have an idea for the chute here, just to make it a little bit so you're not just going like knock your hand off. As you can see, this is just a 20-inch blade I pulled out. Somebody had it upside down on the mower that I took it off of, which was that one, and must have kept hitting stuff and actually bent the blade back. Again, I will be putting a new one on it, so don't worry about that, as well as a primer bulb. My lucky spring box here pulled out or yielded a good carb spring for this quantum, so we'll go ahead and replace that. And this one's pretty brittle. As you can see, I just broke it. I'm just going to pull it through that loop there, just like so. We'll do the loop first because that's a little bit more difficult. Loop-de-loop. Hopefully my hands aren't in the way too bad. putting the loop through that hole right there. I'll point it out to you since I can't really show it to you. So that loops through the hole, and then I'll push this back some because we don't need it that far back now. Just wanted to see if it would run. So that kind of tells me why this mower was parked, most likely was because the spring broke on it. We'll adjust that a little bit better later. Might have to push it back in a little bit more, but we will throw this in the trash. This is already priming, so I'm just going to get like a stubby flathead screwdriver, pop this old primer bulb off, put a new one on. What we're also going to do is go ahead and take off this top here, which really not too difficult. Let's get my tools in the ready position, so to speak, for you. With some 5/16 and some 3/8. I'll do the 5/16 first. That's what I need. It's just three bolts on the top of the tank. You don't really have to take the 4th 3/8 bolt that's under the tank here off. You can just kind of push it back. So just put your hardware aside. Just like that. And then that 4th bolt just kind of, it'll pivot on it, and that'll give you enough room to get this off. Switch to your 3/8. One. Those are in there pretty good. 2, 3, and 4 on the back. Real quickly, right here and there. Okay, so that's off. What you can usually do is pull the dipstick off with it. Just be careful with the plastic tank, you don't want to mess that up. But you can get it off without having to take that 3/8 off. Okay. Gives you a look inside. Really, inside is pretty clean from what I can tell, which is great. You can see the pull rope starting to fray there. So this one is one I can use a screwdriver on. These pull ropes almost become second nature. You do them quite a bit. I'm just gonna pull it out all the way. And it's better to do them whenever you have it on there, or before they break, because that way you kind of know what length you need to cut it to. We're just pulling this one out. Right there, I'm going to grab a screwdriver, push it through an area. Let's push it through right here. That locks it into place. Take my cutters. I'm just going to cut this off. And 90% of your work's finding tools, right? Just cut the knot off at the knot. What I usually like to do pull it through. Take you can do the same thing with this one, right? And then what we've got to do now is take some pliers, some type of needle noses. Maybe these will work for what we need it. Then we're just going to fish in there. Need some light. Let me get some proper needle noses, but all you gotta do is fish in there and pull it out. Sometimes pushing it up with a screwdriver works as well. Here's needle noses. Let's see if we can get it in there. So we just have to get the old rope out. Whoops. I mean, slap you there. So let me get the old rope out. I will put the new rope in and we'll continue from there. Alright guys, I gotta go ahead and do this quickly because I've got 2 mowers, so it's really easy for me to get this video really long. I'm trying not to do that. So, double knotting them. If you don't have a good tight edge that you were able to cut off, good clean edge, it's going to be hard to get your pull rope from inside this hole through the hole on the actual recoil. So now you can just burn the rope if you wanted to. I might have to do it on this. We're going to push this in, and now it'll come out just like that. Push that in, it'll come out. This is one of those where it's not in the middle, it's on the side. So these are a little bit easier to thread than some of the others that you get. Again, I like to double knot it. 1 and 2. And then you just pull it in there. Extra insurance, right? Pull your screwdriver, be very careful because it will kind of go back kind of quickly. And that's done. So, whoops. Right there. Pop it back on. Again, just goes over that. Or does it? No, that goes inside here. So this is kind of a locking mechanism on the front right there for your That's kind of a locking mechanism on the front right there for kind of your carb spring plate bracket. Make sure that your dipstick, if you did take the dipstick out and didn't do the 5/16 inch bolt and take the dipstick out independently, make sure your dipstick is sealed well. And then now it's just a matter of just putting those 4 bolts back on and these 3 screws back on for the gas tank, and we'll be good. Pretty much all that's left to do. I'll show you what I do with this right here, but pretty much it's all left to do to this one is service it. Let me get the primer bulb in it as well. Let me put everything back on right here, and then we'll put the primer bulb in real quick. Alright, we're putting the primer bulb in. I didn't have one of the Quantums, so I'm taking one of the Classics. And I did just put a little bitty hole in it with a drill. That allows the air hole so that you get that air pump primer going on it. Should work just fine. I thought I had some Quantum primer bulbs here. I think I just decided, or I think it just didn't buy any because I was just going to use the Classics. I'll get some Quantum primer bulbs though. So I've already done the bottom. Now I'm going to do the top. Taking the screwdriver and pushing it in. I know Briggs makes a tool for this, but the screwdriver usually works pretty well for me. And I just feed it out with that, and then I just pull it out like so. And that's done. So I'm just going to put the new one in. I'm going to clean this out a little bit though, because it's pretty nasty. Get a little carb spray real quick. That screen is nasty. Whew. You can do it with some compressed air, but all you have to do is push this primer bulb back in with the tabs, and you're good to go. One other thing is you probably should replace this gasket, especially if it's old. Sometimes I like to double them up too. Usually works pretty well. I am going to clean the backing plate on this while I'm at it, because it's obviously pretty nasty. And that should solve our primer bulb issues, and then we'll just give this thing a tune-up, and I'll rejoin you once I do that. Alright guys, so I should replace this thing on the mower itself, because what I had to do was I had to put not one, not two, but 3 gaskets in between this carb and this backing plate, which is not what I wanted to. However, as you can see, we're priming pretty well again, so that's a good thing. This was in desperate need of replacing, so back in the trash that goes. And now I'll just button everything up. I'll put a new air filter on it, find me a blade, which of course that one's sharp, but it's 20-inch. And it's all bent up back there, so I might save it for just a really crappy mower that I might sell for, you know, 30-40 bucks. Have an idea about this, like I said, and then it'll just be a matter of cleaning this one up. So let me go ahead and do the whole tune-up aspect. I'll show you what I do with this. But I just wanted to show you, if you poke a hole through these classic Briggs primer bulbs in a pinch, I need to order some quantum bulbs. They work they work perfectly fine. So anyways, let me go ahead and do the whole tune-up aspect of this, and then we will continue after that. Alright guys, I know this is, well, again, we're talking like a $70, $80 push mower here, but I bought this plastic container here just to experiment with discharge chutes with it, and I couldn't figure out a good way to cut it without like cracking it and whatnot. So I ended up, ingenuity guys, taking my angle grinder here, cutting the plastic that way. Let me show you the product. I mean, again, we're experimenting here, but this is what we came up with. And what it does is it serves the purpose of keeping the lawnmower so that you can't like stick your fingers in it. You actually have to go under here and create an effort to do it. It may not be the prettiest thing in the world, however, it's made it a lot safer. So what it'll do is it will allow the grass, instead of to just come up like this, it will actually help keep it down on the side. So again, let me know what y'all think about this. You're probably thinking he's too cheap to buy a cover, but look, the cover is probably $12 to $15, and it's not really going to increase the value of this lawnmower because it's already got a little hole in it right here, and the paint's already a little rusted on it. I got to put a blade on it, but I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about it, because what it'll also do, since I extended it here at the back, it will keep the grass from shooting up in the face. I tried to see where the air was going. It looked like it was still coming out the side here a little bit and not at the operator's face. I don't really have any sort of... I might just take it out in the backyard just to see how well it does. But just an idea. Let me know what y'all think about it. Again, anything is better than just having it open like that. So, like I said, let me know what you think. I'm thinking about, because, you know, it kind of, well, a discharge sheet would snag on the side anyways if they had it. So I'm trying to make things safer when I sell them, y'all. I'm trying to keep, just trying to make things a little bit safer. So that's really what I've been trying to push here in the past couple of years. And I'm trying to put it into action now. So let me go ahead and clean this one, service it, clean it all up, make it look pretty, and we'll start on number 2. Alright guys, here's mower number 1 finished here. It's pretty good. Still drying off, obviously. Just cleaned it off and all that. This little sheet, really, since it's a yard man with the yellow, doesn't look terribly out of place. Like I said, I just used some self-tapping screws here to tap it into the deck, and it seemed like it worked pretty well. The way that you can see where underneath, I don't know if I can show it to y'all. I don't know how well y'all can see it, if any, but you can maybe see a little bit of grass residue wherever I tried to pull it out a little bit. So wherever I kind of tested it out just to make sure it's not going up in the operator's face, and that is the case. It's just kind of making it jet out the side a little bit, so I'll call that good. The primer bulb working good, new air filter, new pull rope, and put a better blade on there. I'll give y'all a look at that as well. Sharpened it. It's lost a little bit of the lift, but it's still fine for a mower of this caliber. Like I said, I could probably list it for about $75 and probably get at least $70 for it. So not too bad, considering I only have an air filter, a primer bulb, and a pull rope in it, and a few, I mean, you know, just about $3-4 plus the lot charge that I got this lot in. It's only like $70 for 5 or 6 mowers, so it's already paid for itself. Let's move on to number 2 here. We obviously will have to put a primer bulb on this one as well, fix the handle, and a few other things. I think the pull rope's going to be okay on this. Oh no, the pull rope was frayed at the bottom, so I will put a pull rope on this one as well. And the biggest thing is just to fix the damage of the branch. So let's see, like I said, let's look at the blade. We got to take all that. The blade looks okay except for all that mess around it. I think what I'm going to do first is put a little bit of gas in it and see if I can at least get it to run on its own. If it runs on its own, then all we have to do is change out the primer bulb and fix the cosmetic issue with the handle and stuff. So let me grab some gas. Let's see if we can get this thing to run. Alright guys, I don't know how easy this is going to be. I've got a little bit of water and stuff in the carburetor, from what I can tell, although we know that it fired over. So put some gas in it. I don't see any leaks thus far, but I'm wondering if the carb's a little corroded or at least stopped up. I have a little bit of carb cleaner. I'm going to try and help it out to start it since the primer bulb's shot on it. I had forgotten that this one didn't even run. Let me grab a spark plug wrench. We'll look at the spark plug. Alright, I cleaned the plug a little bit. It is a Champion plug in it. And so I'm going to see if that helps anything. I sprayed some carb cleaner right in the hole too. Alright, so that explains pretty much what we thought. It's not getting gas into the carb bowl, but so I guess the next step is we'll take the carb off. I'll go ahead and get all the engine shroud stuff off like y'all saw earlier, and we'll take the carb off and see what it looks like. Alright guys, before I get going with the carburetor, I wanted to share with you the handle, how I fixed it, air quotes. What had happened was whenever the branch hit it, it bent these, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it bent these rods some. I don't know if you can see kind of the semicircle shape of them a little bit. So they had been missing, so it's supposed to be like a hole just like this. So that's the storage hole whenever it goes in the box. That's what happened, or that's where they keep the screw. And then there's like a little square nut that rests right there. Well, that side, both sides have been missing. I don't know how long. That side right there has been missing for so long that rust is caked up on this rod here, and I can't pull it back up to where the hole is supposed to be. You can kind of see it right there. So what I did is I pulled this side about to the same depth as what that side is, and just put some self-tapping screws in there. Honestly, that's mostly just a shipping. The way that they ship the mowers in the box, it's more of a packaging thing than anything. So this is going to hold the handle just like it needs to. They just do that for packaging, and then you just slide the screw in there and nut, and then you just tighten it, and it's a perpetual process to keep that right on these type newer style handles for the MTDs. So I did that to both sides. Also, what I did, some of these handles have like a 3-position adjustment on them. This one did not. So instead of trying to replace the bottom bars down here, what I did is I drilled new holes in this top handle here that were the width or the same circumference as the old one. Raised the handle up, drilled the new holes, and you can see where it used to be right here. So it made it at more of an angle. I don't know if you can see the angle there. It's not really going to be a weak point, but because you can see the handle's always going to have a little bit of movement with the way that they've got all these different points of, like, the different points they have on them. But it's a lot better than it was, and it's at an acceptable height too. It was like way down here. So we've got that fixed. The cable's good at least, and I wanted to share that with y'all, just in case y'all decided y'all needed some help on this type of handle. And so now I'm going to go ahead, we'll go ahead and get the carburetor off. And I guess I'll go ahead and set y'all up on the bench here. We'll go ahead and get the carburetor off, and we'll take a look at everything. Alright guys, so we'll go ahead and get started here. I'll go ahead and take this cover off. We'll see what kind of damage happened whenever that branch fell on it. Take the pull rope out up here. I'm just unscrewing the little eyelet screw. There we go. I'll take that cover off. Ooh, it made a nice dent in the top cover here. It doesn't look like it really impacted anything, thankfully, but that was a pretty strong, because I mean the pull rope's still functioning very well. I will put a pull rope in it. Y'all saw that earlier in the video with the other one. I'm not going to cover it this time. We have to put a primer bulb in this one as well. I already covered that in the last video, or in the previous mower. So these are 5/16. Just be careful not to warp this backing plate. So you can see, whenever this is exposed to ethanol over time or bad gas, the old primer bulb seriously just melts in there, which is crazy, right? So I got to dig that out. Fuel line's already been off of this one. So somebody wanted to fix it. Just never did fix it, I guess, right? That was not latched into place either. Let's take the fuel line off. I don't think they didn't get to this point. So, come on. There we go. Oh yeah. Let me get some vice grips. I forgot to put a little bit of gas in it. So somebody wanted to fix it, but they just didn't quite get around to doing it. You can see let's see, where's the backing plate at? The gasket was missing, so it would have never primed anyways. Somebody had been in this one already. Alright, 3/8. Going to get the carburetor off here. Number 1, number 2, and shall we go to the bench to see what surprises we have in here for us? Or do I just do it right here? How about I just do it right here in front of everybody? Half-inch ratcheting wrench, or half-inch socket here. Should get us off. There we go. Let's look at the condition of the jet first. I have seen worse. The jet going into the carb is clogged. Bowl? I have seen worse. However, yeah, no, I have seen worse, honestly. I think we can save this carburetor, guys. This might be an ultrasonic special here. Might throw some grease lightning in it or something. See if we can get it to come back, or do I just go the quick route and just put a new one on it? Because that seal, that gasket seal, looks like it's kind of disintegrated because of the water as well. And you can kind of see it right there. And with all the way that primer bulb was, I just don't know. Looks like it's sealing okay, right? You can see marks where somebody's tried to be in it as well here, right here though. Decisions, right? So, of course, I don't know how the needle and seat is. Another part of me thinks that whenever I put the whenever I clean it out, it's gonna mess the seat up too. I'll tell you what, let me grab some pliers and see if I can take this seat off very quickly while we're at it. Don't want the big pliers, but okay. Go big or go home, right? Just the way that rubber seal is, or that rubber primer bulb was. Just have a feeling that this rubber is coming ever so slowly. Just have a feeling that rubber seal is probably shot too, you know. I want to save one of these carbs in the ultrasonic at one time, but it's got to be dirty instead of corroded, you know. Because we're almost there. Because the corroded ones are what eats the seals and stuff up. The dirty ones are the ones that just you can bring back pretty easily. I don't usually deal with corrosion just because I know what usually happens. Oh, we're so close, guys. I just want to see the seal real quick while we are discussing this. This thing's gonna pop off and hurt me. Yeah, we're so close. Okay. There we go. All right. I bet the condition of the seal in here is going to be pretty rough. It's really not bad, actually. Maybe a flashlight, but it's not bad. But if you look at all of that up there, up top, with the corrosion and stuff, I don't know if I'll ever get that off. Well, I might just experiment with this thing and see, because I don't want to put any carb spray in where the seal is, but I might just hit it real quick and See if we can get some of this off, because a lot of it just seems like it may be on the surface. But and then I can just slap another carb on there and call it a day too. So of course you got corrosion on the, like I said, when they're just dirty, I don't really mind it, but when they've got a bunch of corrosion on it, right, like this, I usually don't mess with them. So I think I'm just going to decide to put a new carburetor on this and let it roll. Let me know what you think about my decision. Would you try and save that in an ultrasonic? Let me know. I might do a trial run just to see if I can or not, but not quite. I don't feel confident because I know a lot of times the needle and seat will leak and get stuck and stuff like that. So let me know what y'all think about taking corroded carbs like that in the ultrasonic. I'll put a new carburetor on. Y'all saw how I took it off. I'll just go ahead and put a new one on and pop it in here and see if we can get it to run. Alrighty, y'all. So I don't have any carburetors on tap, which I thought I did, but that's okay. It's a great time to try this ultrasonic. So I put all the parts in a glass here, straight grease light, and I want to get that mean green cleaner or whatever it's called, ultra green. I don't know exactly what it's called. But so I got that going on. Got 50-50 grease lightning and water in there. I do need to add a little bit of water to it. Want to get it as close to the top as possible. There we go. I think that'll do pretty well. Let's see. That's probably good. Alright guys, let's put it on. Obviously it's got to heat up and do all that fun stuff. The grease lighting is already kind of working a little bit, which is good. I'm just going to put it on there for about an hour. I'm not going to let you hear all that beeping. I'm going to put it on for an hour. We'll come back, see what it looks like. Hopefully this will work. I'll be excited if it does. Alright guys, about 45 minutes in the ultrasonic here. And I think the results are pretty good. Especially in the bowl here. The carb bowl turned out really well. All that loose corrosion and stuff. The needle looks, or this is the jet, looks pretty good. The needle turned out really well, I thought. There's a little bit of corrosion still left on it. But obviously the main part of the carb, that corrosion is something else. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to put any carb spray. Let me throw the light on here because I want to check. I want to check in the seat area, and that looks pretty good. I just need to take I think I just need to take a Q-tip and just kind of get all that corrosion out of there, scrape most of this corrosion off, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it back on the lawnmower. I've already cleaned the mower. It's drying now, so I'm going to put it back on the mower and just honestly, we're going to see if it works. If it does, that's going to be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'll catch y'all when I'm going to attempt to run it here in just a second. Alrighty y'all, I did leave this overnight just to see, because it wasn't leaking when I left, but it looks like it did end up leaking out overnight, which I kind of figured. And so I'm not going to really toy with this carb anymore. Like I said, if it didn't have all that corrosion in it, I think it would have been just fine. But I'm going to put a new carburetor on it. Again, peace of mind and all that, because with all that corrosion, I think it's just going to keep coming back and coming back. So we'll get that on it, and we'll continue the video. Alright guys, I didn't film it because I didn't think it would work. However, I did have one carburetor here. I had stripped one of the screws in it, and I had to drill it out, and I didn't think it was going to work, so I didn't worry about filming it. However, I drilled it out, tapped new threads. It wasn't in the exact right spot, which is why I didn't think it would work either. However, I put it back on. I was able to finagle the cover on, and you see it priming a little bit in there. I don't know if you can because of the sun, but so it's priming just a little. It's priming enough. After I bent this back a little bit, because these things sometimes get warped. So that's all we need is for it to prime right there. I put the primer bulb in it, and let me crank it up for us. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna, since it's already been ran, or since it's already been washed, I'm gonna let it run, put an air filter on it, let it run for a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. How about that? 2 twin push mowers, and they really didn't need a ton of work to get going, which is awesome. Alright guys, so here in the morning sun, there's the final look for these 2 Yardman twins. Again, they're probably $80 mowers, because they have the, I guess they're the upgraded engine, 21-inch deck, got the height adjust for both wheels on them. Decks are in okay shape apart from that one small hole in the other one, on the one on the left there. And then I fabricated that chute there. Let me know what y'all think of that. I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to work out okay, honestly. All it needs to do is just keep the grass off the operator and keep it from, so that you don't just like stick your hand down in the blade when it's running. And I think we've accomplished that. So, as a quick recap, both lawnmowers needed oil change, primer bulb, air filter, pull rope. The one on the left needed a chute and a blade. The one on the right needed the blade sharpened, and that's about it. So let's run. Oh, also the one on the right needed a little bit of a handle repair as well from the damage from the tree limb. But I'll give you one close look real quick before I run them and we wrap this up. They turn out pretty darn well, I would say. And this little chute doesn't look terribly out of place, because Yardman is green and yellow. So, and then the one here on the right, we put the new carburetor in as well, after the old one was corroded. Although I tried to fix it in the ultrasonic, it did not work, unfortunately. I will get a carburetor that I can save in the ultrasonic at some point. I don't have the luxury, well, I guess I choose not to have the luxury of having the nice easy gummed up carburetors to work on. So let's crank up both of them. I'll show you that they both run good, and I already cranked them both this morning. One on this one right here cranked pretty easily even without a primer, so that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so that's it pretty much. As always, thank y'all for watching. We hope y'all enjoyed this video of the Yardman twins. Again, they're not even a year removed from each other, and they're basically the exact same lawnmower, so I wanted to just put them together here in this one video for you. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. There's not really a lot of differences that these needed. The only thing was this one needed like a carburetor and a handle adjustment fix, and that one needed a blade. Otherwise, it was mostly a service for both of them and a cleaning. So, like I said, $75, $80 a piece. I think that'll work pretty well. Hope y'all enjoyed watching this video, and I'll catch y'all on the next repair.